Hey everybody, it's Eric here, and I think the plan for today is to get the top side of the trunk ready for paint, possibly paint if I get that far today, and by paint I mean primer, epoxy primer. As I mentioned in the last video, I'm not going to try and paint the bottom and the top and everything that needs to be primed all at once, because when I flip this car back and forth I typically get a bunch of this stuff coming out. So I want to get it all prepped here and then lay it flat, probably, I don't know, flat or tilted, we'll see. But then leave it that way, paint it, let the paint dry, and then we'll move on to the other part of the car. I think all the repairs and everything are done in here. I'm going to give it another once over, make sure there's no holes I missed. But I think it's good to go. And then I just need to decide where I'm going to paint. Most of this stuff back here has the single stage satin black paint on it, which I don't need to go over if it's fine. But I've had to touch up or work on a lot of these little places here and there that have gotten into that paint, so I have to feather things back and figure out exactly where I want to go. Also, as I mentioned before, I'm not going to do the finish work on this right now. I learned that lesson the hard way. I'm just going to put it in primer and leave it, and then when the rest of the car is painted and done and whatever, somewhere down the road, that's when I'll go back and finish this up with either the spatter paint or Raptor liner or something, I don't know what. But for now, just get it in primer so it's sealed. So that's what I'm going to do right now, just start sanding all this stuff down and getting it ready for paint. Well, I thought I was done, but I found two new holes. I forgot there was this key switch here. I don't know if that's fuel cut off or what that was for, and then they had that running down, so probably to the fuel pump. So two more holes I have to plug. But I did use that as an excuse to crack out my stud welder, which I've never used. I bought that same thing like a year and a half ago. So I finally did that. I forget who made that suggestion the last patch I was making. I think it was Roger. I can't remember, but anyway. Made myself a little holder for that. Alright, these two guys are done. That one came out pretty nice. This one's down inside a little recess, so it's really hard to clean that out. So then I'm just going to wipe these guys with fiberglass, and then everything is done here as far as I know. Alright, we are all set to go here. I masked off all the stuff I don't want to get painted. I tried to put soft edges around. I've never done that before. We'll see how that works out. Alright, it's all set. Wax and grease removed. Ready to go. So I'm going to do this and the drop off panel there, and also this guy. Paint all that at once. Well, as with most things I've been doing lately, this is a good news, bad news proposition. Good news is the repairs there came out pretty nice. Bad news is there is a ton of trash in this paint. I don't even know where all this stuff came from. I blew the garage out, blew the car out like 6 times, vacuumed the garage, and just trash central. So I was making an attempt to get the crud out of the paint here, and it certainly looks better than it did, but it's still full. Look at all that crap there. God, that's frustrating. And to make matters worse, I was using this flashlight here, and the magnetic tip banged into that and pulled all that magnetic shavings off and landed right in the paint. But anyway, as I said, I'm going to do the finish coat on this sometime later, so I'm not so worried about it. It's not that big a deal. This will cover up with some other top coat. But look here. You can't really see the repair I did. If you look carefully, like right there, you can see a little something. That repair I just did today. Down there. That looks good. Over here, epoxy line real heavy right there, as you can see. The rest looks pretty tasty. What about that patch I did in the corner here? There. Looks pretty good. See if I can get a shot of the tail light patch there. Good too. Alright, well, all in all, it looks pretty good. It's not terrible. I have a complete trunk for the first time in history, which is nice. I'm not going to complain about that. I'll wait till later to pull all the tape off and see how my soft edges work and stuff. I only put one coat of epoxy in here, thinking that I'm going to have to come along later and sand it and put another coat of epoxy on anyway, so I didn't really worry about it. And a lot of the car actually has, everywhere it wasn't bare metal, I already had 2 coats of epoxy plus the single stage on it, so it's, most of the trunk is pretty well covered. This base area here needs more work, but anywho, so I can conditionally scratch that off the list. The question mark is not really done. Yeah. So all we have left is the tail panel, rocker seams, quarter panel. Oh, we got a lot left. Never mind. I'm hoping that when I go to spray the inside of the roof and potentially the tail panel, I don't get so much trash in the paint. I'll be even more careful next time and hose the floor down and everything. And vacuum the car a bunch more. Just keep working on it, I guess. Try and get the stuff clean. Because when I paint this stuff up here, I don't want to have to do it again. I just want to do that once and be done with it. So we shall see. Anyway, thanks everybody. Take it easy. I'll talk to you soon.